What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Sunday, August 4th, 2024, and I have an emergency update to share with you guys. Right now, it is 22:06 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. So, I wanted to update you on the situation with Iran and Israel. So, it does appear that this massive strike on Israel by Iran could happen tomorrow. So I'm going to be on high alert. And Axios is reporting that US and Israeli officials told them that they expect Iran to attack Israel as early as tomorrow, Monday. And Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, apparently told the G7, the group of seven, that Hezbollah and Iran will carry out the attack within the next 24 hours. That was today. Okay, so sometime tomorrow is what it's looking like. And the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the IDF is ready to strike if given the orders, and Iran rebuffed calls from the U.S. to minimize retaliation even if the assault on Israel triggered a war. So Iran is basically saying, we don't care if this triggers a war. We're going to launch this massive strike on Israel to punish them. Okay, so they've rebuffed calls from the U.S. and other countries who have reached out to Iran to try to talk them out of this. They've ignored them essentially. And the IDF is prepared to launch a strike on Iran, on Lebanon, on anyone necessary. All flights from Erbil Airport in northern Iraq have reportedly been suspended until further notice due to the possibility of an imminent Iranian retaliatory attack targeting Israel. Okay, so all flights from Erbil Airport, northern Iraq, suspended. Syria has closed its airspace to all civil aviation, and all overnight departures from the Imam Khomeini International Airport in the capital of Iran, Tehran, have been delayed until at least Monday. So that's a huge sign that this is going to happen sometime soon. U.S. President Joe Biden will convene his national security team in the Situation Room on Monday to discuss developments in the Middle East, according to the White House. Okay, so Biden will be in the Situation Room starting tomorrow. Okay, so that is a huge sign that this is definitely going to happen sometime, probably between Monday and Wednesday. Okay, anytime between then. I don't think it's going to be later than Friday or Saturday. Okay, sometime within the next couple of days at the latest. The soonest would be tomorrow on Monday. Okay. And an Iranian official told Al Jazeera that our response will not be a symbolic response. We are planning to take a heavy price from the enemy this time. Okay, so they're clearly saying this strike is not going to be symbolic. Okay, they're aiming to actually hurt Israel, okay, to kill people, to harm their infrastructure, to hurt them economically. Maybe they're going to go after ports. Maybe they're going to go after electrical infrastructure, okay? Oil and gas platforms. You know, Israel has a lot of gas platforms in the Eastern Mediterranean. They have a lot of important ports like Haifa and Eilat, where a lot of container ships go, okay? There's a lot of ways that Iran can hurt Israel if they want to. And don't forget that Saudi Arabia has a lot of our oil. Okay. And this update was sponsored by Patriot Supply. Guys, Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. But this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It includes over 2,000 calories per day, breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, all contained within 6 rugged, water-resistant buckets, and free shipping is included. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $200 off or 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. Free shipping is included. They also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running various discounts. And to get to their general store, you just got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com at the top of the page, and you'll see their general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running discounts here. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video. And you may have forgotten a couple of years ago when Iran launched a bunch of missiles into Saudi Arabia and took down a bunch of oil refineries, and they did that just to scare us, okay? Now, a couple of days ago, one of the Iranian politicians came out on public TV in Iran and said that they do have nuclear weapons, they just don't talk about it, okay? So maybe this is why the US and Israel have postponed any kind of strike on Iran, any kind of massive shock and awe strike on Iran, because maybe they know that they have nuclear warheads somewhere. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, convened a security meeting today regarding the upcoming Iranian attack and its possible consequences. And the commander of U.S. Central Command, General Michael Kurilla, has arrived in the Middle East to assist with preparations and planning for an Iranian attack against Israel, which U.S. defense officials believe could come as early as Monday. General Kurilla plans to visit several Gulf countries, Persian Gulf countries like Jordan and Saudi Arabia, as well as Israel, to make sure the defensive assets are in position and strategic planning is complete. Okay, so this is huge news, guys. Okay, and the IRGC is telling the UK's News that Iran's response to Israel may come no later than Tuesday or Wednesday. The sources added that Iran's response will be more severe than the April 13th response and will likely have casualties. Okay, so the IRGC is saying no later than Tuesday or Wednesday. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will remain at the Israeli Pentagon overnight tonight, known as the Kuria in Tel Aviv. And Israeli continuity of government plans have already been enacted several days ago. We're hearing that VIPs, especially those in the line of succession from Netanyahu, have already been moved to underground bunkers and been given satellite phones. And the IDF says that a personalized early warning system for large-scale missile attacks is now ready for use. So they've prepared a new type of early warning system for massive missile attacks just for this situation. And the Israeli Transport Minister Miri Regev held a meeting earlier with different officials where he said, in the event of a continuous attack, we may begin operating IDF Air Force planes and sea shuttles from Cyprus and Greece, perhaps as early as next week. Okay, so Israel is planning to use runways in Greece and Cyprus to attack Iran or Lebanon or to shoot down missiles, whatever. Okay, so this is huge news. And Israel is bracing for a potential multi-day attack by Iran and its proxies, according to NBC News, citing an Israeli official who said they'll just try to wear us out, adding that Israel fears waves of missiles and drones could be fired over several days. So we're hearing from multiple sources now, okay, Iranian sources, Israeli sources, Western sources, that this is going to be a multi-day attack. This is not going to be the same thing in April where, it was 1 or 2 hours and then it was done. Okay, we're talking days, multiple days. Okay, it could be during the daylight hours, could be at nighttime. They could launch very intense missile attacks, then break for a couple of hours, then launch another wave of attacks, and then take a break for a couple hours, then again. And it could go on like that for several days. Okay. So I'm going to be covering it live as much as I can. And make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're checking my channel periodically for updates. I do have some people assisting me with this situation. I have a radio consultant who is probably one of the best out there. He is an expert in amateur radio, many, many years of experience, and he's going to be helping me behind the scenes to decipher all of the things going on from a radio standpoint with the emergency action messages and the nuclear forces communicating and strategic forces here in the US and in NATO. Okay. And overnight, the Jordanian foreign ministry urged nationals to leave Lebanon immediately, and the French foreign ministry reiterated calls for nationals not to travel to Lebanon and those already there to leave immediately. And what you're looking at here is a video of an Israeli SAR 6 missile ship. Okay. And this thing potentially could be armed with missile interceptors. It has 40 launch tubes, so it can accommodate up to 40 missiles of various types. It could have missile interceptors on it, getting ready to intercept Iranian missiles. And the UK and Canada have begun to evacuate all non-essential embassy staff and their families from Beirut. Okay, and the Saudi Al Hadath channel cited sources according to which Israel is preparing a rapid response to a possible attack by Iran. Okay, so that is huge. Rapid response, guys. Israel's not going to sit around and do nothing. And the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, sent an additional squadron of F-22s to the Middle East. Okay, so you remember yesterday, or actually it was 2 days ago, there was the DoD press release where the Secretary of Defense said they were going to move an additional squadron of fighter jets to the Middle East. Well, it turns out they're going to be F-22s, guys. There were also videos that surfaced on Telegram showing a B-2 stealth bomber landing in Qatar on Thursday. Okay, so this is very serious, guys. Biden is going to be in the Situation Room tomorrow. We had more VIP flights to and from Colorado Springs today. Now, in Colorado Springs, there's a doomsday bunker. That's where Cheyenne Mountain is located. So U.S. government VIPs are going to Cheyenne Mountain, to NORAD. So that is very, very serious. And Canada and Australia have updated their travel warnings for Israel now, telling people to avoid all travel. So here's a tweet from Canada. This was yesterday. Okay, you can see it says here, Israel risk level update, avoid all travel. Okay, so this is travel.gc.ca. Okay, here we have the UK government telling people not to travel to Lebanon. Okay, British nationals in Lebanon should leave now. Okay, so this is very, very serious, guys, very serious. And then here's another update here from the UK saying we advise against all travel to the whole of Lebanon. If you're a British national in Lebanon, we encourage you to leave now while commercial travel options remain available. But apparently, evacuations of embassy staff are already underway. So it's about to go down, guys. It could be any day now. And Turkey is also telling its citizens to leave Lebanon immediately. Norway, Poland, South Korea, and Italy are also telling their citizens to leave Lebanon immediately. And Syrian airlines have canceled all their flights to the UAE. That's pretty interesting. And Israel is warning residents of Jerusalem that you must clean and prepare special shelters, and you must be able to reach them in 90 seconds. Okay, so people in Jerusalem are being told to prepare bomb shelters and be able to reach them in 90 seconds. Absolutely insane. And we're hearing of nonstop flights of Russian Ilyushin 96 cargo planes from Russia to Iran, presumably carrying heavy military equipment. We don't know what's on these planes, potentially radars, potentially jammers, potentially missiles. We just don't know. Okay, but this is very serious. Russia is supplying weapons to Iran, and this is part of their security agreement that they signed a few months ago. Nikolai Patrushev went to Iran and signed a security deal with them. So this could be part of that deal. They're now arming up Iran, and this is biblical, guys. Russia forming an alliance with Iran and now helping Iran to attack Israel, guys. If you're a Christian and you think that Putin is the savior, there's no way he can be the savior if he is knowingly providing weaponry to Iran to use against Israel. Okay. Anybody that attacks the Holy Land and God's chosen people will go to hell. Okay. That's just the truth. Whether you like it or not, that's just the truth. So you need to reevaluate your love of Putin, because this is very, very concerning now that Russia is providing weaponry to Iran. Even if it's just radars or jammers, it doesn't matter. Even if, let's say, they're not giving them missiles, they're still helping them. Okay, so they give them radars. Well, yeah, it's not an actual, offensive weapon, but the radar helps Iran to strike Israel, right? So it's basically the same thing. We had a B-52 airborne earlier today over Louisiana and Arkansas. So our nuclear forces were on high alert today. We had 2 nuclear war command and control planes airborne, and you could see a ton of P-8 Poseidons that evacuated from Jacksonville because of Hurricane Debbie, or actually Tropical Storm Debbie. But she's going to turn into a hurricane soon over the panhandle of Florida. And so they're moving out all the P-8s from Jacksonville. You can see probably about 20 of them here. Absolutely insane. I've never seen that before. So basically their entire squadron or entire fleet of these P-8s being evacuated. We had a U.S. Navy recon drone over the eastern Mediterranean last night. And here you can see the 2 nuclear war command and control planes that were airborne earlier this evening. And then here you can see a VIP plane going from Colorado Springs back to DC after dropping off VIPs to probably NORAD or Cheyenne Mountain. So this is very, very concerning, guys. Wanted to just update you on the situation with Ukraine. So here we have some pictures of the first F-16s in Ukraine. You can see the Ukrainian trident painted on the tail wing of this F-16. This is surreal, guys. Here's another picture. You can see the F-16 taking off from this runway. You can see the Ukrainian trident on it. So according to these pictures, the F-16s that arrived in Ukraine are equipped with AIM-120 AMRAAMs and AIM-9X Sidewinders. Those are air-to-air missiles. The AIM-9X Sidewinders are the standard short-range dogfighting missile, air-to-air missile, and the AIM-120s are medium-range air-to-air missiles. These are the type of missiles that they could potentially use to shoot down Russian bombers, depending on how close the bombers get to Ukraine. And they could also use them to shoot down Russian missiles, okay? So this is absolutely insane. F-16s are now in Ukraine, multiple F-16s. This is absolutely huge news. Want to just update you on the situation with Tropical Storm Debbie. So it is going to be moving over the panhandle of Florida. Here's the latest warning cone. Okay, they do expect it to turn into a hurricane. Looks like it's going to make a direct hit over Tallahassee, and then it's going to weaken back to a tropical storm and then cause some negative effects over the Carolinas, lots of rain. So this whole area here, South Georgia, coastal sections of South Carolina, North Carolina, the panhandle of Florida are going to get a lot of rain. So get prepared for that. And then here's another shot of all the P-8 Poseidons evacuating from Jacksonville ahead of this hurricane. Now, the Houthis published a video yesterday of what appears to be another U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone that they shot down using their air defenses. So this would be the 8th U.S. drone shot down by the Houthis. Very concerning. But I will be back tomorrow with more breaking news. I am keeping my live stream up 24/7 with the radio frequencies for our nuclear forces on in the background. I have flight trackers and I have some cameras. I'm going to keep that going over the next several days at least. And I will return to my normal schedule starting probably tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest. Okay. So, but if anything happens, I will go live as necessary. So until the next time, make sure you're prepared. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.